Yangane Cameroun. Le Kalmangalenge, il est né Kumbo, Cameroun, ou Kumbo Yaha, ebe lansang. Nsang abe maye Kumbo. Iding, ebe ate, abon, biye Kumbo. Ne lulome akon behengo, anyol bonvanane, bekwarbe awelan, bekwarbe amunduru, bekwarbe aliye, ne ye Kumbo. Ebe ekumbo ye burbo bise nga keli ivanane ele ekumbo ye lolome.
Ensemble, main dans la main pour préserver l'unité de notre cher et beau pays, le Cameroun.
C'est un message de Royal FM, la radio des auditeurs.
8h au Cameroun sur Royal FM.
Lundi 10 juillet 2023, bonjour à tous et bienvenue au 8h bilingue. ERATUS NDUEH, good morning.
Good morning Jean-Claude Ngué, good morning humble listeners and welcome to the 8 a.m. Bilingual News.
En vitrine ce matin, mutuelle d'assistance et de solidarité, les rideaux sont tombés hier sur l'acte 3. L'événement marquant la remise des différentes offres sollicitées par les mutualistes à jour de leur cotisation autour d'une tombola très courue a été célébré avec faste solennité au palais polyvalent des sports de Yaoundé. Réaction du promoteur de la Masso et autres invités dans le 8h bilingue.
And Cameroon will host the 18th edition of the Speakers and Presiding Officers of the Commonwealth of African Region from the 13th to the 22nd of July this year under the theme African Parliament and Agenda 2063 in Yaoundé.
À l'étranger Vatican, le pape François annonce la création de 21 nouveaux cardinaux.
Bafman United Football Academy is the new champions of the Northwest Regional Mini Interpose and will represent the region at the National Interpose after beating Bafan Bullet FC 2-1 in the finals. Get details and more in the jiffy. The first part of the news with Jean-Claude Ngué.
Et nous ouvrons ce journal par la deuxième conférence des ministres de la transhumance transfrontalière Nexus qui s'ouvre ce lundi à 9h. Les travaux qui regroupent 8 pays portent sur la transhumance, les aires protégées et ressources naturelles, le développement, la paix et la sécurité. Il sera également question de tabler sur la mise en œuvre de la déclaration de N'Djamena. Fin hier de la 8e édition du Salon international de l'agriculture à Yaoundé. L'événement a permis de mettre en vitrine la créativité et l'innovation des producteurs agricoles camerounais dans le secteur. Le salon a également connu la participation des acteurs internationaux. Je vous le dis en titre, la cérémonie du tirage au sort de l'acte 3 de la mutuelle d'assistance et de solidarité a eu lieu hier. À l'occasion, les mutualistes présents ont été renseignés sur la philosophie d'ensemble de la Masso, une vision d'inclusion financière sur laquelle revient le promoteur, le révérend pasteur Bissa Emmanuel Noël, PCA de Renaprouve Finance SA. C'est dans cet extrait sélectionné par NDUEH.
Nous sommes là tout simplement pour montrer la voie. Nous faisons face à des contraintes financières et économiques qui sont de plus en plus pressantes. Et si nous n'essayons pas de nous bouger, nous risquons de laisser à la postérité un héritage lourd qui sera difficile de porter. Nous montrons la voie pour dire la main qui donne, c'est la main qui dirige. Et personne ne pourra donner pour vous amener à l'égaler. Donc il est question d'asseoir une finance locale, celle qui rime avec nos réalités, afin de pouvoir susciter des véritables champions dans tous les domaines d'activité. Vous savez, si nous prenons nos stars, chaque fois qu'ils sont dans le besoin, ils font appel au fonds d'investissement. L'argent vient de l'extérieur. Et cet argent qui vient avec d'autres effets conjugués qui influencent notre balance commerciale. À nous de libérer notre ingéniosité parce que nous sommes dynamiques, nous sommes intelligents.
La cérémonie du tirage au sort d'hier a aussi mobilisé d'importantes personnalités parmi les invités de marque. Je vous propose d'écouter tour à tour le professeur Sindjoun Pokam, acteur de la société civile, l'ancien coach des Lions Indomptables Jean-Paul Akono et Jean Collins Desfossoken, syndicaliste du secteur des transports. Les avis sont recueillis par Jean-Marie Anaba.
Quand vous écoutez le discours qu'il a tenu, le président, c'est extraordinaire. Il dit que c'est nous qui allons désormais guider le monde. C'est d'autant plus vrai que toutes les puissances du monde se retrouvent en Afrique. Tout le monde convoite l'Afrique. Donc, cette initiative-là, il convoque à la fois la monnaie, il convoque l'Occident pour dire que de toute façon, nous n'allons plus copier l'Occident.
Voilà un compatriote qui se soucie, n'est-ce pas, du social des Camerounais. Il rend beaucoup de Camerounais très joyeux. Il donne la possibilité à certains Camerounais non seulement d'avoir des moyens financiers, mais de créer des entreprises, à faire le commerce, parce que quand on gagne 50 millions, on peut avoir quand même beaucoup de projets, n'est-ce pas, à réaliser et qui peuvent être générateurs de beaucoup d'emplois pour la jeunesse camerounaise.
Le gouvernement lui-même a déjà embrassé l'initiative. Vous avez remarqué la présence de monsieur le préfet du département de Fundi, qui est pratiquement l'autorité administrative compétente pour nous encadrer lors d'un tel événement. Et il faut dire qu'aujourd'hui, nous sommes très heureux de savoir que beaucoup de nos camarades encore ont davantage gagné des véhicules taxis et pour changer leur vie.
La mutuelle d'assistance et de solidarité Acte 3, je vous l'ai dit, l'apothéose c'était hier 9 juillet au Palais polyvalent des sports de Yaoundé. Parmi les bénéficiaires, une mutualiste qui a reçu un appui dans les activités commerciales. Écoutons Ntama Régine au micro de Olivier Ndemaepo.
Je suis émue. Je suis émue jusqu'à je ne croyais même pas. C'est ma mère qui m'avait forcé même à m'inscrire. On a commencé comme les blancs et j'ai choisi le salon. Si c'est les mains émues. Je viens même de terminer. J'étais en retard. Je ne savais même pas que nous devions finir 52 000 là.
La page internationale.
Hors de nos frontières, en un seul télégramme ce matin, Vatican, le pape François va créer 21 nouveaux cardinaux. L'annonce a été faite hier. Il s'agit de 2 Français, un évêque de Hong Kong, les archevêques de Bogota ou de Madrid, ainsi que 3 représentants de l'Afrique, à savoir le Sud-Africain Stéphane Brislin, archevêque du Cap, l'évêque coadjuteur du diocèse de Tabora en Tanzanie et l'archevêque de Juba au Soudan du Sud, Monseigneur Stéphane Ameyu Martin Moula, qui avait accueilli le pape en février dernier lors de sa visite dans le pays.
La page sportive.
Et c'est en football. Ce matin, le Cameroun et le Maroc s'affrontent à Yaoundé dans le cadre de 2 rencontres amicales. Les 2 nations sont en pleine préparation de la Coupe du Monde 2024 de football féminin U17. Samedi, lors du match aller, les Camerounaises l'ont emporté 2-0. Écoutons à ce sujet Alain Dumfa, sélectionneur du Cameroun. Il est au micro de Olivier Ndemaepo.
Non, l'objectif c'était juste évaluer nos joueuses. Vous savez, c'est le premier match à l'international. Et comme la plupart de nos joueurs sortent des clubs de 2e division et des académies, il fallait un peu voir leur comportement face à une équipe mondialiste comme le Maroc. Je crois que c'était ça l'objectif du match. Donc, je crois qu'en première mi-temps, ils ont eu un peu de fousse pour rentrer dans le match parce qu'en première mi-temps, on a quand même dominé sur le plan du jeu. Mais malheureusement, ils n'ont pas trouvé la lucarne. Mais en deuxième mi-temps, on les a repositionnés à la mi-temps. Et puis, ils ont suivi les consignes. Je crois qu'on a pu marquer ces 2 buts. Nous avons des joueurs sur qui on a déjà un œil. Comme je l'ai dit, nous avons le premier tour éliminatoire en février. On a tout le temps.
La suite du 8 bilingue, c'est en langue anglaise avec ERATUS NDUE.
Welcome back. The new director of the Advanced School of Mass Communication, STIC, Professor Marc Mozambe Francois, will be installed today. He will be installed by the rector of the University of Yaoundé II, Professor Adolphe Minkwa Shie, at 11 a.m. in the Thesis Hall main campus. The information contained in a news release issued by the University of Yaoundé II rector. The just ended June ordinary session of Parliament of the 2023 legislative year has been decided or described as some lawmakers as remarkable due to the pertinence of the bill scrutinized and adopted the law on higher education policy in Cameroon and that of the Charter of Child Online Protection, as well as to enable that on the cross-border exploitation of oil and gas field between Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea have been pertinently been highlighted by members of the parliament as appraised on the session. In the following except custody state media, some senators evaluate the work done after the plenary sitting which took place over the weekend. Take them, listen to them speak in this excerpt.
Senator Mbela Moki Charles from the Southwest region. We had a purely monitoring and evaluation process in the Senate in the form of the budgetary orientation debate. It went so well. That's the main issue that was on the table at this session. It gave us an opportunity to do an assessment of what the previous budget has how it has impacted on Cameroonians, and of course underscore the feel-good effect of our populations and our various constituencies. So by and large, I think that it was a very successful session. It was intense, it was exciting, but at the end of the day, what work was to be done was well done.
Senator from Lekunze Nembo Andreas, Senator Southwest Region. We had an intense session which was quite fruitful because we had a series of bills which were highly scrutinized and debated. That kept senators working in long, late hours in the night. But one of the good things is that all of those bills had a tendency to solve recurrent problems, ongoing problems that are affecting our populations. Senators are living here as happy people because they have accompanied government action through the scrutiny and voting of bills to increase the living standard of their people and councils and regions which we represent through these bills that came in from the executive.
Senator NGUE Francis from the Northwest. It has been a hectic session. A couple of bills have come through to us from the government, and I think the various committees had to do their work, and at the plenary we all participated in making sure we vote good laws for our country. It was also a very good session as well because of the new renovation, the new reforms government started on budget orientation, which comes to the parliamentarians to see how they can gather their contributions before preparing a budget for the coming year. And I think we have given a lot to the government, a lot of proposals and what we want to see in the coming budget.
Some senators reacting there. And as you heard in one of our top stories, the 18th Conference of Speakers and Presiding Officers of the Commonwealth of the African region will take place in Yaoundé from the 13th to the 22nd of July 2023 under the theme African Parliament and Agenda 2063. The conference, which will take place under the distinguished patronage of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Paul Biya, will bring together speakers and presiding officers from the following African countries: Botswana, Cameroon, Gabon, Gambia, Ghana, Kenya, Kinshasa, and Lesotho, Mussolini, Malawi, Mali, Mozambique, Nigeria, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Tanzania, Togo, Uganda, and Zambia. Cameroon was chosen to host the event during the 17th conference that was held in Rwanda on November 2021, and the 18th conference will take place at the Yaoundé Conference Center. We move now on to Maso to say thousands of mutualists have been raffled out as winners of 50 million, 10 million vehicles, houses, and what have you during the raffle draw ceremony of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity Maso Act 3, which took place yesterday at the Multipurpose Sport Complex in Yaoundé under the chairmanship of the Senior Divisional Officer and the visionary Reverend Pastor Bisai Emmanuel Noel and a handful of personnel who were present at the event. The event saw the lucky winners of Maso Gold, Maso Classic, and the special raffle draw backed home with huge finances. I propose you take a listen to some lucky winners of 10 million vehicles and 1 million this excerpt.
My name is Ounzi Mbega Bidima Patrick Carl. I've won 10 million francs CFA in Maso after it. I'm very, very happy. With the money, I'm going to further my projects abroad.
Were you expecting to win?
I was hoping, and thank God I have won.
I'm feeling alright. I'm well. I'm glad.
How do you intend to use this vehicle?
I will use it to carry students and all people.
In the meantime, some mutualists back home disappointed after the outcome of the draws that did not favor them in one way or the other. Mbumbum Lionel Paul is one of them, and he was speaking on his way out of the papacy. Take a listen.
I'm a teacher, so I subscribed for 65,000 Maso goal for academic assistance. Yes, so well, I was not happy. I was disappointed. It's my first time. If I was explain the process, I think I would have been a little more stressless. But I'm not happy.
What was done that you think was wrong?
I would have preferred that those who subscribe for 1 million, they should have their own ballot box. Those who subscribe for 2 million have their own ballot box, as well as 50 million, and the rest should have their own ballot box. Now, the second thing that I noticed that there were people from Edea, from Bafusam. It got me just confused. My resolution, I was wondering if when you subscribe and maybe you don't get what you wanted, can your money be refunded back? Was a sacrifice that I just took. So maybe I can, since it's a mutual assistance, maybe I can get an assistance here. I have my kids have to go back to school very soon, and then the money I've given here, maybe if I would have kept it and then engaged in something else in the holidays, I would have had maybe something to pay for their fees, but it's like I have to go and stand up from scratch one now. Yeah, I'm sure that their mother will not be happy.
We wish you the best, maybe next time.
If I thought I'll be a member again.
And still in Maso, in as much as mutualists or Maso winners were being raffled out, some were being handed honorific medals and distinguished frame bought by the high profile who were being present at the event for their faithfulness to Maso, as they have completed their contribution for the prizes they won in the previous act. Yemka Herrick was one of them, and he reacted in the microphone of Ural FM.
My name's Nyanka Eric Nzelen. I'm a mutualist from Mindong. So I was lucky because it was more than some people. Yeah, so we are fortunate that God helped us through. So we are happy. Yes, I won a taxi. The taxi, it will go a long way to help me and my family. We appreciate it, and then we shall be looking forward now to see how we can start planning our life from square one. Let me just say like that. Yes, it has not been very easy. But from now henceforth, we are going to do something better. God has listened to our prayers and have blessed us with this taxi, so we are very happy. Renaprov, I lack words for Renaprov because it is a God-gift something to Cameroonians and Africa, because it is coming very strongly, and it is showing that it will kick poverty not only out of Cameroon but out of Africa.
Effectively, and equally, we talk something else to say roadside food is more and more gaining grounds in the nation's capital. The activities have become a booming one due to the high profit these vendors make from it in Cameroon. And to find out why this roadside food flourishes on a daily basis, our student journalist Bate Bridget cornered some Cameroonians to understand why they go through or for this roadside food, knowing that these foods can cause them harm, and she compiled this report.
Roadside food has become one's easiest and satisfactory routine because one do not know how and where it is cooked. It scares some to eat outside.
I don't eat roadside food because I don't know how they are cooking it, the way they are cooking it, the water they use to cook it.
Economic hardship has made some people addicted to roadside food. Some say it is their only option of survival.
I don't have a choice to eat roadside food. It is hard time that is making me to eat roadside food.
Others have the means, but circumstances don't allow them to have proper cooked food in the house, but rather outside.
Yeah, I do eat roadside food. My reason for eating them is because in my job I'm not stable. We are always mobile, so at times you reach an environment you cannot see good food. It will force me to eat the roadside food.
Meanwhile, other Cameroonians turn to eat roadside food due to their long hours activities linked to their jobs.
Beyond borders, Ali Bongo, president of Gabon, has announced his intention to run for the next presidential election on August 26, 2023. The outgoing president made his announcement on Sunday, July 9, during his trip to Nkok near Libreville. He will thus run for the third term in office, which has not been restricted from the Gabonese or by the Gabonese constitution. And in sport, Bafman United Football Academy is the champions of the Northwest Regional Mini Interpools and will present represent the region at this year's National Interpose. They emerged champions by defeating Bullet FC by 2-1 in the finals of the competition played at the University of Bamenda yesterday. And still in sport, Tanzania's giant Simba FC has officially unveiled maestro defender Chemalon Fondon after completing paperwork to have the player. The Cameroonian international makes a switch from Cotonsport de Garoua, where he won 2 Elite Fight titles, to 1 Cameroon Cup, and that was it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the package we gathered for you for the 8 a.m. bilingual newscast. Romuald Ekume was our sound engineer and technical writer. Jean-Marie Otu was our video editor, script editor, Gementa. The news was edited by Gementa and Bertrand Owuna. Editorial coaching, Ebel Bella Samari. Coordination, Jean Patientala. And for general supervision, Reverend Pastor Bisai Emmanuel Noël. And for presentation, we have been ERATUS NDUEH Anne.
Jean-Claude Ngué, 1000 fois merci de votre aimable attention. Ne manquez pas le rendez-vous de l'information majeure tout à l'heure à 12h sur votre radio Royal FM. Royal Midi, une présentation de Carole Prudence. Nous vous retrouvons demain quand il sera 8h à Yaoundé. Mais la suite des programmes, c'est avec Francis Libéral qui est déjà dans la place. Bonjour et bon début de semaine, Francis Libéral.
Merci Jean-Claude, bonjour et bonjour à tous.
Comment a été la nuit?
Plutôt
mode sommeil ou mode récupération?
La nuit était très courte.
Vous avez parcouru combien de kilomètres hier au palais des sports de Yaoundé?
Je n'ose pas le dire. Tout ce que je sais, c'est que je boite ce matin.
Alors, ça a été facile avec la gestion des artistes qui a été invité à prester au cours de cet événement?
Non, c'était pas du tout. Parce que le programme n'a pas été respecté comme il se devait. En principe, les artistes devaient arriver 1 heure avant leur prestation. Donc ça veut dire tout simplement qu'un artiste qui